This is the final lesson of grid component training. In this lesson, we're going to add user-defined filters to the OE order link list view. So let's get started. We're going to start off in the WiSys Agility Design Studio, logged into Database 10 and the Grid Component Training Project. We want to edit the OE order sales grid, the primary master grid. Now we're going to ultimately change the filters, but instead of jumping there, we're going to go through the SQL page because we have to make a change there first. And you'll see here in the expression builder that we've already selected the status equal to 1. We did that in the very first lesson. But we're going to make that a user-defined filter. So I'm going to remove that. And you'll see down here that we removed that filter option. We just have the order type equal out for now. And we're going to come down and select from the header the customer number and the status. So let's look at the customer number first. We want a range. We want to be able to have a range of customer numbers to enter. We need to have a caption, customer number. We need a search. The searches are all predefined. They're actually installed with the product. At least we provide quite a few searches, all in the Agility Search project. For the way these are identified is they all have dashes in them. They follow pretty close to the original Macola naming convention to make it easy to find them. And there's the customer number search. We're using the customer view, so that's normalized between Macola ES and Macola progression. Now, one of the things that's important here, this is a unique data type. Customer numbers need to be padded in different ways for progression and ES. And due to that, we do have data typing that you can select. There is things like customer numbers, control numbers, invoice numbers, shop order numbers, vendor numbers. Those are all unique in how Macola pads those. So if you're going to use one of those in on a front page filter search, you need to tell the system that it's unique so it knows how to pad them on data entry. If they're just going to be linked from view to view, then you really don't care because it's just going to be data to data type linkage. And the system would just manage that for you because the data would be padded on both sides to begin with. So we've got a search, and we've got the customer number, and we've got data typing on that one. A status does not require any spatial data typing. We're going to do a list, and it's going to be a hard-coded list. And we're going to have a caption, which is going to be status. I'm going to define those hard-coded values. The first value is going to be 1 for entered. The next value is going to be 4 for picked. Next is going to be 7 for shipped or confirmed shipped. Then 8 for billed. And then 9 for invoiced. By doing this kind of list, you'll see I can do a filter preview that I can actually select multiple values from those checkboxes. I can also do an exclude option, which means it excludes which ones I check. So this is, by doing a hard-coded list, I've got a multiple checkbox option for what I want to look at. And I've got the customer range above. The system automatically groups things so that ranges come ahead of things like status groups and things like that. Let's save this. Let's see what we have. Let's do a preview. And we've got a customer number range, and nothing's been entered yet, so these fields are empty. So let's do 901 to 901. And let's look at entered and shipped. And so now we're just looking at customer 901. One of the fields we hid earlier, because we had it set as a hard-coded filter, was status. But now all of a sudden that's important to us because status is changing. So I brought that field back. And we can see now that we can look at status of shipped only. And now we can go look at tricks transactions, those statuses as well. Look at our more recent one. We'll see that this is an I type. The data is more current here. And that now I do have distributions. Before, when we had allocations only, we weren't in a shipped state and we didn't have. These are confirmed shipped, so they have linked distributions. We also notice that down here, some of our fields need to be a little bigger. We never had data in this grid before. So now we can go ahead and adjust the grid accordingly. Do a save. So now you see how we've changed the filter options to be hard-coded options, ones that you can enter and manage. This would be very important if you had very large volumes of data and you wanted to filter that data into the grid so it would be more manageable. I want to thank you for taking the time to watch this video tutorial, and I encourage you to move on to the next video tutorial in this series.